everything is inbuilt. Okay, so I'm covering the basics of Selenium now after I have taught you basics of object-oriented programming. Fine. If you look at the official documentation of Selenium, right, then basically you have got classes like, just a minute, let me show you. There are various inbuilt classes which are for each browser. For example, these are the various driver classes in Selenium. Okay, right. So these driver classes like Chromedriver, Edge driver, each of the driver class, it denotes a particular browser. Fine. For example, if I have to work on Firefox, I create the object of Firefox driver. Okay. I write my code like this, that is Firefox driver dr equals to new Firefox driver. And then you can write driver Firefox driver object dr dot get, go to the URL http say yahoo.com. So in this Firefox driver object, you will get many functions. These are the inbuilt functions we will be studying about in this training. Fine. And one of the functions is get. What it does, it helps you to reach a particular URL. Fine. So when I run this code, you will see that Firefox browser will launch and it will take you to yahoo.com. Fine. Okay, so you see that yahoo.com will open. Okay, now for yahoo.com, okay, you can, one more thing, you have to mention the protocol. If I don't mention the protocol, I will get an error. This is not like UTP where you can skip the protocol, right? Another thing is Chromedriver. Chromedriver is for Chrome browser, as the name suggests. Okay, right. But just a minute. But if I create the object like this and if I run it, don't expect a Chrome to open up. All of you will get this illegal state exception. For Chromedriver, what you need to do is that you need to go to seleniumhq.org. Fine. Go to the download section and you will have the Chromedriver browser, Chromedriver over here, Google Chromedriver under third-party drivers. Right. Go to this link and go to latest release, this one. Okay, then go on this link and you will have this directory coming up. Download the zip file for your operating system. If you have a Windows of 64-bit or 32-bit, this zip file is more than enough. When you download and extract it, you will have an exe file like this, chromedriver.exe. Okay, look guys, don't try to run it. You will achieve nothing by running this exe, right? You need to use it. Okay, right. So what you need to do is that in your code, right, you can write system dot set property. Okay, system is an inbuilt class in Java and set property is a static function in that class. That is why you are able to access set property directly. And in the key, you can mention webdriver dot chrome dot driver. Okay, and in the value, you can mention the path of Chromedriver exe. Okay, right. So in my PC, Chromedriver exe is lying in my F drive. Right. So I'll write F drive. You need to write double slash over here. Chromedriver.exe. Okay, fine. And make sure this complete line is in lowercase. Sometimes people keep W capital for WebDriver. No, Java is a case sensitive language. So if I run this code, you will see that Chrome browser will open up. Fine. So if you want to navigate it to some website or something, you can write Chromedriver.get to yahoo.com. It will take you to yahoo.com. Fine. Okay. Now similarly, you have got driver for every browser. Okay. If you refer the documentation, then see, Internet Explorer driver, as the name suggests, it will be for I. Fine. I can write Internet Explorer driver I equals to new Internet Explorer driver. Fine. And you can write I dot get. Go to the URL. Fine. Again, yahoo.com. Right. And I'll comment this, and when I run this, again, all of you will get an error, an exception. Okay. Well, for I also, you need to download an exe file from the Selenium HQ website. Okay. You need to go to the download section and you will have the Internet Driver server. Download it for 32-bit Windows I or 62-bit, 64-bit I. These are the bits in your I, not the bits in your PC. Okay, right. So you got my point? Right. Now you can download it. I already have it downloaded, and all you need to do is that you need to write system.set property, the same line. Instead of webdriver.chrome.driver, you need to write webdriver.i.driver. Okay, right. And the path for iDriver.exe. Okay, in my PC it is fdrive iDriver server.exe. So when you run this code, you'll see that I opens up. Hold on. Right. So ask me later, you can click on it. Hold on, let me run it again. Just a minute. So it opens, right? And after that it opens I. Now in case if it doesn't open, if it throws an error for you, okay, right? So if you go to view, zoom 100%, make sure that the zoom settings in I are selected to 100%. Okay, right. You got my point, right? And one more thing. If you go to tools, options, internet options, okay, you will find that there are various security settings. Okay, just a minute, my PC is hanging. This I has hanging. Hold on, just a minute. Yeah, it's fine now. Right. So over here, yes. Over here, if you go to T tools, internet option settings, under security, you will have 5 or 4 tabs. Okay. So over here, Um, if you click on each of these tabs, there will be a leveler. Okay, this leveler should be at the same location for all four of them. Generally, I prefer to keep it off. Okay, right. So it's up to you. It's up to your discretion. Fine. So this is what I is for. This is how I works, right? The rest of the drivers, okay, if I talk about the rest of the drivers, like for example, Edge driver, it's for Microsoft Edge. Okay, right. Look, Microsoft Edge driver is not a very stable driver. Okay, it has few drawbacks. Similarly, Safari driver, it's not stable. Like for Safari browser, half the things they don't work on it. And similarly, Opera driver. Remote WebDriver is used in case um, you have to work on grid. Okay, right. So I'll not talk about it right now, but when I cover grid, I will talk about that. Right now, one more thing. Just a minute. All right, fine. Now, one more driver is there. It's a very interesting one, HTML unit driver. Okay, right. So if I create the object of HTML unit driver, okay, if I write over here, hold on, where is HTML? If I just write like this, HTML unit driver dr equals to new HTML unit driver, and I write dr.get, go to the website, same yahoo.com, and print the title, right? And I print the title by writing, just a minute, driver.get title. And if I run it, you will see no browser opening up. Okay, you will see no browser opening up, but it does print Yahoo. Okay, right now what is this? This is something which can do headless testing. That means it doesn't open the browser. Okay, right, fine. And if you write bbc.com and if I run it, it will print for BBC as well. Right. In what scenarios will you be using this? Can anybody tell me? Just apply your brains. In which scenarios can you use headless browser testing? In which scenarios can you can you use HTML unit driver?
Probably in scenario when we don't want to open a browser or extract information, just want to process those information and write a report directly.
Yes, you can see that. Or for example, you are on a Unix box where you don't have a UI interface. You have a shell UI, so you can use HTML unit driver over there. Or you know, it is very fast. HTML unit driver is very fast as compared to other drivers. If you want it to be fast, the testing process, you can do it. It relies on the page source and all everything. Okay, right. So these are the various drivers, and the whole course would be revolving around these drivers only. Okay, right. So that's the thing.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah. So actually, it's like we have different types of drivers to access different types of browsers. Now, the new instance will create different drivers, right? Apart from a different browser, is there any difference in accessing those data?
You mean the features of the functions of the driver class?
Yeah. So is
Okay,
it like for everything the features are similar? It's just getting an instance of a certain browser, or is there any difference between let's say example for IE driver between and this Chromedriver or a Firefox?
okay, I'll elaborate this question. So basically the question being asked is that if you have Firefox driver, IE driver, Chrome driver, and suppose you have to click on a link. So will the function or will the process to click on the link be same in all the three drivers? So these questions will be answered when I cover uh, inheritance and basically what do you call them, interfaces, right? When I'll cover interfaces, right? Okay. Anybody else having any questions? Please feel free regarding course, regarding anything if you have questions. Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Jigar here. If you can just elaborate on the HTML unit driver once, the usage.
HTML unit driver is basically faster, first of all. Secondly, just a minute. Secondly, if you don't have a UI, suppose you want a Unix shell, which is something similar to the command prompt, and from there you want to execute your scripts and all, so you can use HTML unit driver. Okay.
Okay.
So now,
hello, Ashish.
yeah, Diti.
I have a question. Like, if we are using HTML driver, so how we will find the location of the web element?
That I'll talk about in the coming classes. I'll tell you.
Uh,
It works on the page source. The page source remains same for all the applications in all the browsers. So
Ashish, one thing. So with this HTML unit driver, we can do the same set of things what we can do with any other driver, right?
yes.
It can interact like anything. It's not opening any instance of any browser, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, the question being asked is how soon you start a batch in the chat. Well, I start a new batch every month. Okay. So the next one would be somewhere at the end of April. Okay. Fine. Any other question? Please feel free. This is the first class. Like people ask a lot of questions in first class. Okay. How easy it is to maintain? This is the question. How easy it is to maintain latest versions of driver? It's very easy. I'll tell you when we'll build up the framework that how you can maintain the versions and all. Okay. Generally, it doesn't get changed like that. Okay. They not very frequently. Okay. Fine. Another question being asked out here is, okay, when you ask a question on the chat, please direct it to everyone so that everyone can hear. Okay, it's a generic question that what is a framework? Okay, look, I'll elaborate. Okay, you'll come to know in this way. When you build Selenium, okay, when you build a project, okay, then you write scripts in Selenium. Suppose these are your scripts. Script number 1, script number 2, script number 3, script number 4. Okay, these are your Selenium scripts. Now you would want that these scripts should run maybe one after another, or maybe you want that Probably you don't want to run script 2 and script 3. At times you would want that you directly want to run script 4 after script 1. Apart from this, you would require to generate the data from Excel file or database or XML or wherever it is, or a properties file or a text file. Or you want to generate some reports as well. Okay, and again you would want, Pawan, I'll answer that in coming classes, right? You want to take some screenshots as well of the errors. So how do you do this? Okay, you have to bring up something known as a testing framework like a test ng, JUnit, or people also use Cucumber, BDD and all that stuff. Okay, so what these do is that they act like a centralized controller. Okay, they will read the data from the Excel file, call the corresponding test case, generate the reports, take the screenshots, also generate logs and all, and a lot of things are involved. So, I'm sorry. This is how it works. This is the complete framework. Selenium, if you talk about Selenium, then Selenium is only this much in the green box. Selenium will only interact with the browser. Selenium will never have any feature to read the data from Excel file or generate reports or take the screenshots and all. Okay, so you have to do it all on your own. You have to learn these tools like testing, JUnit, Cucumber. Then you'll also have to use Maven. You'll have to use Ant. For reporting, you'll have to learn how to generate XSLT reports, how to generate extent reports. Okay, so all these things, it's not as simple. We will do them. Okay, we will cover them as we proceed with the course. Okay, so right now I am just focusing on this area. That is how to build up scripts. Right, so gradually things will be clear to you. Right. Apart from this, people also prefer to integrate the complete thing with Jenkins. Okay, so we'll talk about Jenkins as well. It's open source, it's a little vast, it's not tough. It's a little vast, that's it. Fine. So anybody having any other question?
Yes, Ashish, I have one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I am, like very new to Java and Selenium. So I just wanted to know what all tutorials should I complete, before the actual Selenium training starts.
Look, if you talk about the tutorials, at least watch the first. I think Priyanka, you have taken the course, right? You watch the first 7 modules. The first 7 modules are on Java. Okay, that will help you out.
Okay, first 7 tutorials. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else having any questions? Fine. Okay. Now I covered, right, except constructor, I have covered till static and basics of drivers. Look, constructor, I don't want to cover it right now. I'll just mark it in red. I'll cover it when I will tell you about the concept of profiling, Firefox profiling. Okay, I'll tell you what constructor is. Now the next thing which we'll talk about is the concept of interfaces. Fine. I think today is the first day. I'll stop here. I've done enough. Okay. So generally I take 1.5 hour class on the first day, right? And itself, like, it's more than enough. So we are going on the track. So interfaces and other stuff we'll see tomorrow, what web element and all is. Fine. And in case you will get an email with the recorded URL. Actually, I'll have to upload it on YouTube. Fine.